It's so good to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces. While I'm talking, why don't you go ahead and make yourselves comfortable? If you have your candles, great. If you don't, no worries. We're just really glad you came with yourself. My name is Jordan Rosensky. I'm the Director of Community at SVIVAH. For those new faces tonight, thank you for being here. And if you want to stick around at the end to introduce yourself, we would love that. I promise we won't run off. We always stick around for a couple of minutes afterwards to check in with everybody. 30 seconds about SVIVAH. SVIVAH is about revolutionizing the way women come together in community and using Jewish community to empower women as individual change makers in our own lives and our world, discovering and exploring the unique and beautiful Torah that comes from our lived experience. We define both Jewish and women very broadly. If you want to be with us, we want you here and welcome. We love that we are multi-generational and diverse in backgrounds and affiliations, and we come together in celebration and support of women, our strengths, our unique perspectives, and our ways of impacting the world. While we're getting started, if you want to take a minute to introduce yourselves in the chat, tell us where you are Zooming from tonight and where you found light this week. And if you'll let me, I just want to talk about light for just a minute before we get started. It seems so fortuitous that tonight is the winter solstice and we are bringing in the most amount of light that we can with our Hanukkah menorahs tonight, shortest night of the year. And everything is just going to start getting a little bit brighter every single day after here, which really, really helps me with getting through the winter. Our question about where do you find light in the world? I have a friend that I check in with every Shabbat or so, and when we play what we call big picture, little picture, where we say, what is the big picture win for this week, and what is the little picture win for the week? And when we talk about big picture, we're talking about something elsewhere in the world, something larger than we can control, and little picture is something in our own world. So I wanted to start with just giving you an idea of a big picture light that I'm finding is actually a 14-year-old girl in Australia by the name of Haya Dadon. And you might have heard about her. She was unfortunately at the during the attack in Australia this week, and she, at 14 years old, did exactly what she should do. She hid under a picnic bench when the shooting started. And she heard a mom right by her crying out, asking for help with her kids. And Haya climbed out from under the table. She threw herself. She put her own weight on top of this woman's two children, and she saved them. And she ultimately was shot in the legs when this happened. And I'm finding so much inspiration and so much bravery in this young girl who now, of course, getting all of these media asks about how it feels to be a hero. And she just keeps saying that she's not a hero. She just did what anyone would do. And I'm finding, first of all, I'm not sure if that's true. I think it was incredibly brave, and I think she was a hero. And I'm finding so much light in moments like that. And I also wanted to share my little picture light. And friends, I'm telling you this right now. I did not put this in the run of show or tell Ariella about this beforehand because I want you to see her reaction as I share with you all my exciting little light world, which is this Friday. I officially accepted my admission to JTS, the Jewish Theological Seminary, to begin studying to get my master's in spiritual care and counseling, to learn how to be a clergy member as a chaplain. So I'm really excited about this, and this is definitely the light that I'm carrying with me right now. And I'm going to now toss it over to Ariella to bring us into the next piece of our program tonight.
That's great. You are so mean. I can't find my audio button. I forgot to let people in from the waiting room. Oh my God. I am so proud of you. The world is so lucky. You are going to make this world, and all the people who are going to come across your way are just going to be so blessed. Jordan, I'm so glad. Mazal Tov, what an amazing thing. And you stink. I can't believe you saved that for. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, What a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing. That is not little light. That is huge light. Thank you for sharing that. And everybody should wish Jordan an amazing Mazal Tov. She has worked so hard, and this is so her calling in every which way. I'm so excited for you. And it's just like amazing. Like I love the whole idea. When I was a kid, somebody introduced to me the idea of these people who work in Jewish community and who hold our communities being clay kodesh, like just holders, utensils of holiness. And Jordan, that is 1,000,000% you. So thank you for stepping up and stepping into your calling. And that's going to be amazing. I'm very excited. Okay. Later, more. I will celebrate continuously and have many reasons to celebrate you. I'm also just going to right a mistake that I made last time we were here. We have had some wonderful, wonderful humans step up and sponsor generously our gatherings this week, which is so nice. And so Allison Jordan was absolutely lovely, and she sponsored Chanukah in honor of her friend Victoria. And I forgot her note that she had written in honor of Victoria, and Allison said that she misses her. It was so wonderful to learn and share ideas and books and experiences with her. And she loved when she came over on many Friday afternoons before Shabbat. And she has so many memories about their times together in and out of shul. And I treasure those memories and will always be grateful for the time Victoria spent as clergy in Beth Israel in Berkeley. And Allison sends her love to everyone, especially Ruthie in her community in Berkeley. So thank you so much, Allison. I'm going to say a giant thank you to Dahlia, who is not here, but is on an airplane with her family right now, traveling from a family bat mitzvah. But she sends all of you her love. She very much wanted to be here and was sad to miss it. And Jordan, thank you. Thank you 1,000,000 times over. And I'm very excited to be able to introduce our teacher, Dr. Jane Shapiro, tonight for Zot Chanukah. I have a mixed relationship to Zot Chanukah. Like everybody talks about, this is Chanukah because it's our candles. You see my old picture from last year. All of our candles are lit and it's like, this is it. And there's a little twinge of me that's always sad because it's like, oh no, this is it. Because I love the light so much, and the light has been so healing this Hanukkah, and I've needed it so much. So I'm going to say thank you to all of you who have been here on the other evenings when we were together, and like, I'm that dark who just like, you're always here. You're here in my head. You're here on my table. You're always here. So even when we're not together, this is a space that brings me so much light. So thank you for being my Hanukkah. And it was so important to me this year. So I'm going to say thank you. And I'm very grateful to be able to introduce Dr. Jane Shapiro, who agreed to come, and she was very intentionally chosen to have her hold this last night of Hanukkah and this Zot Hanukkah, where it's all the light and also helping us hold on to it so that we can hang on to it for the rest of the year through when Hanukkah is far beyond us. I had the very big gift of meeting Dr. Jane Shapiro for the first time in a context where I saw her working just one piece of her magic, and how she brings light into the world. I met her. I am, newsflash to everybody, I am not a teacher. I just get to hang out with them. And I watched Jane sit with these phenomenal educators who had decades of teaching experience. And they sat around in a group and taught. They taught a lesson that was close to their heart, something that was meaningful to them, that they wanted to share and that they wanted to bring forth in front of their colleagues. And Jane was there, and I watched her take these seasoned professionals who I thought were wonderful, each of them, and she just found each of their unique light. And each one of them was so different from the other. And immediately, in like a round robin, Jane was able to figure out how to spotlight each teacher and what unique spark they brought into the room that would kindle literally their students. And some were adult educators, and some were teachers of other teachers, and some were teachers of yoga, and some were teachers of just meditation, and others were teachers of kids of all different ages. And each one of them, Jane was immediately able to just like, you could see her like in the back of a theater, be able to pinpoint the unique light that each one brought. And that is the Jane that I know and love. And she is a dear, dear mentor to me and has taught me so much, and you have all been the benefit of have benefited from Jane in because she has been such a guiding light. The puns will continue all day. Um, Such a guiding light to me, and I am so grateful to have her here tonight. I'm going to stop talking and let her do her teaching because that is why she is here. But I just want to say thank you for being who you are, being another Clay Kodesh, and just bringing so much light into the world with your teaching and your Torah and who you are and how you help the rest of us be as bright as we can be. So thank you, Jane, for being here.
Utterly embarrassed. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here the other night and be with many of you, I think, and with Sara Lynn Newberger, who's one of my favorite teachers and colleagues. So I'm just really happy that we can be together tonight. I have a few things I want to say because it is the 8th night and there's special work involved with lighting the full Chanukah and sitting and reflecting on all of the light. But why don't we get started? If you have a Chanukah at home, I'm going to light mine and then try to push it out of the way so I don't light anything on fire, which is always a challenge. But we're going to say the brachot. And then what I also thought we might want to do is sing Ma'oz Tzur very slowly and meditatively instead of like and just let the song sink in a little bit, and so we can hold on to it. And I'm going to sing it in Hebrew and then sing it in English also. And I've found this week that what I've been doing is singing this Rock of Ages not in the past tense but in the present tense. So I've been switching the verbs. So we'll try that, and I'll try to sing it loud enough that you can hear me doing that, and just sort of think about what does it mean we are leaning on the Rock of Ages now and today as we sing this song. So let's get started. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sha'asa nisim lavoteinu Bayamim hahem B'hazman hazeh Ma'oz Tzur Yeshuati Lechana Eshabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Mezabeach Li'etachin Matbeach Mitzvah Nabeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukah HaMizbeach. You can unmute, we can sing together. Rock Of
Of
ages
ages
past. You can still see, there
past.
you go, you can see the reflection, not all of them. Okay. So tomorrow there will be no candles. And it's always, I don't know if it's always just a really, Ariel alluded to it, it's just a kind of an empty evening between about 5 o'clock when suddenly it's not there anymore, when there's been this just extraordinary light, and then there's none. But I think that there are some tasks and there are things that we are meant to do on this last night to prepare for tomorrow and moving forward out of the Hanukkah experience. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. And I thought I would like to offer 3 ideas about light coming out of Hanukkah, 3 big ideas. I hope that will be helpful. If you meet somebody in Israel, let's say Chag HaUrim Sameach, happy lights holiday. They don't say happy, they don't say Chag Hanukkah, they say Chag HaUrim Sameach, Chag Urim. So we are meant, I think, on Hanukkah to not just light the lights and not just think about the oil and think about those things, but to contemplate in this larger way what light signifies in many different aspects. And I think that one of the best places that that's been going on all week is on these calls, when we spoke about hope that we see when we look earlier in the week, when we looked at the Chanukiah, it was a source of comfort and hopefulness in a time that felt really dark. And that feeling hasn't gone away, but I want to offer a few other ways that we've learned about light this week and perhaps can think about it. First, I would say, and I'm going to give just little Hebrew expressions because sometimes inside the Hebrew is the idea I want to just move at. First is just the idea that what we call Vayehi Or. Vayehi Or. This, out of this sort of breathiness, Vayehi Or. That light is the primary act of creation. The world, that creation in its full form happens through this or, through this light that we see. And that we're blessed by God's gift of light. It's not something that just happens in a big bang, but that it's a gift. I think that's the difference between a physicist and a Jewish spiritual person. It doesn't just happen. We think of it from the sense of it being a gift in some way. Vayehi, or God's gift of light. And so the way that we acknowledge this first big idea is by responding to God's gift by creating and embellishing light. We intentionally light lights. We don't just look at lights and think about it, but we respond by the offering of light back as a way of saying, like, thank you. Thank you for this gift, God, for this viyor. And now we offer it back with brachot and with songs and praise, which is the best way of saying we are grateful and that we want to meet you in this place of light together, Vayehi Or. And in that way, I like to think about as a sort of part of this first big idea as the Ner Tamid, the perpetual light, that there's light that is always burning, that this relationship and this idea that God, that light is a primary act of creation that gave us light and that we can respond by offering light back is an eternal thing. It never goes away and it's always there. So how do we respond? We respond on Hanukkah by lighting the laws. There's lots of laws about the intentions and the specific ways we're supposed to light the candles, only from one direction. Every day you add a new thing. Like the rabbis added all kinds of ways to say you have to do it a certain way. They have to burn for a certain amount of minutes. And while they're burning, you're not supposed to work. All right. So in this simple act, by adding on all of these intentions and activities and restrictions and just sort of fencing it in some way, that we are making it an Ner Tamid. We are saying, like, stop, pause, recognize that this light is Vayehi, or the gift of creation and the gift of creativity and the gift God has given us that we see every time we look at this light in some way. So that's the first idea, is that light is a primary act of creation, and we respond as we light the lights. We are responding to God by saying, like, we mirror you, God, and we are grateful for this light. So here's the second idea. The second idea is that we are full of light, that we are the light. There's that beautiful song, the India Ari song that I often hear in my yoga class. We are light. Sometimes we've used it here. It's lovely, but that's a very old notion. It's not just that God created light, but that we are light, that light is what's inside of us. And there's lots of terminology for that. But the one that I most like to think about is, yes, Julian, I love it. I just love it that we are light, the lights of our face, but that we have light inside of us. We have holy light inside of us. The rabbis, particularly Hasidic rabbis, often talk about the word nefesh, which we often translate as soul, but they turn it into an acrostic. Nefesh, nun is for ner, nefesh is for a candle. The pei is for the word petila, like the F piece of petila, which is a wick, and the shin sound is for shemen. Okay, can I write the 3 points? Ner for candle. I can't, but Aria can. Ner for candle. Pei petila. Shin shemen. That our souls are a combustible thing. Our souls are the light and the wick and the oil that we put together with it. Okay. So I just wanted to think about that for a second. That it's not just that we look at this light and we think about God's, but that when we look at these lights, we're meant to think about inside of ourselves. That just this very particular quality of looking at lights and stuff, that's symbolic of us, that's inside of us. So before I go on to the third big idea, I guess I want to pause for a second, since the conversations among people on these calls is sometimes the richest of all. But I want to sort of think about this idea, like, it's not the light is not out here. I'm the light. It's not just a primary act of creation that was given me and I say thank you, but it's me. I am part of that this is reflecting me sometimes. So I would love for people to think for a moment, and I want us to use the Chanukah that we're just moving through, and not in a global, just focus in a little bit on this week. As you reflect on this week, what light perhaps have you felt reflected within you? Maybe was there a moment when you shined some darkness on something within, or your light was able to shine on someone else, or some way that you might have felt transformed in some way, since light is also a form of energy being dispersed. So if we think of ourselves as, right, as Talia is saying, creative activity. So I'd love for people either want to raise a hand or just put in the chat just ideas you have about, did you have a moment this week when you felt the light within you, whatever it was doing? Not a question you hear every day. Gonna look on the chat. Creative. Susan Barokas, hi. Beautiful, meaningful teaching, being light to carry forward. Yeah. Anybody have a thought? Elizabeth, thank you. Yeah. You just have to unmute, Elizabeth. Set up a calendar for showing my art. I gave a bear hug to a broken person. I felt it in both of us. Beautiful. Can't unmute. Okay.
Only the host could let me, but the host did. So thank you, hostess. I had a really interesting experience. I think it was actually today, and I felt that, and there was no circumstance to bring it on. The circumstances were actually very difficult that I was in, and I just felt it. I felt the light coming from me, and from God, from me, through me. And I thought this is beautiful because actually I can't say that there's something in my environment or my circumstance that would bring that feeling. It just came. It was really beautiful.
So I love that. So I think that sometimes just being able to identify, oh, that's what happened to me, is an awareness that you brought. But that there is a certain spontaneous combustion. I mean, if the light is inside of you, it can manifest itself. And so sometimes it's just like recognizing it and just noticing, like, it really is there all the time. I can act, which is what one of the things the rabbis tell us we're supposed to do, is gaze at the candles. Is like, notice it, look at it, focus in, be present to that light, and just, it's there already, and notice it. Beautiful things. I sing when I met with my 10-year-old granddaughter, when she learned the blessings and listening to me sing them. It was beautiful. Helped a man with a headache in a clinic. What are the three concepts? We've done two so far, Rebecca. I'm going to say that I'm going to repeat the two, and we're going to go on to the third. But I just want to say, does anybody else have some other moment, okay, when they just were aware, oh, Nama's class, full of light. Okay. Full of, I think all of listening to Nama the whole time, I think you're ignited. Your soul is ignited when you listen to her speak. If you haven't studied with Nama, do yourself a favor and listen to her, because you will definitely feel that light inside of you. She has all kinds of techniques to make it apparent. But just want to think. So the first idea is light is a primary act of creation, Vayehi Or. Light will always remind us of the gift that God, in bringing light and creativity and creating us, and we respond to God in gratitude by mirroring that with our kindling and attention to light. Light is a primary act of creation. And second, we are the light. Our nefesh consists of light and wick and oil and candle, that we have that combustion or light available inside of us all the time if we notice. All right. So here's the third idea. And this one I think is, I'm happy. This is a new thought I had this year. That's why I'm always grateful to Ariel, who gives me a chance to think new thoughts. And that's the notion of transferring light. There's a concept in Judaism called mitzvah she'overet. Mitzvah she'overet, or ha'avarat esh. Now you don't have to be a Hebrew scholar. I want to listen to the Hebrew word avar. Avar, spelled with an ayin, bet resh, avar. We call Abraham the Ivri. It's the same word, avar. Avar means to pass over. Abraham is the Ivri because he passes over one river and then another to come into the land, okay? The language we speak is Ivrit, which is a language of avar, of crossing over. Our ancestors crossed into the land, crossed out of the land, and we moved around. And that this idea of crossing over is intrinsic to who we are in our language. The Hebrew word for being pregnant, uberet, is the same Hebrew word, that something about pregnancy is a passageway from life to another life, all right? And finally, a mitzvah she'overet. We have kinds of mitzvot and activities of things where we connect one activity to the next. One mitzvah can build on the next and be carried over into the next. Yes, b'sha'at tova. Yeah. Uberet. Thank you. All right. So in the Kabbalah, in Jewish mysticism, they talk about a shefa, a flowing of light that flows from God, that will pour out from one place and pass into another. But I think about this from the simplest way possible, is that if you are at all, somebody you're familiar with, the rules of candles, not on Chanukah, but on Yom Tov and on a holiday. If you go into someone's house, if they have the candles set up on a holiday, they will have a candle that they can use to transfer light from one place to another, so they can light Shabbat candles. It's often a yortzeit candle, which is interesting. Something that's a light that is burning, it's combusting and it's there. And that light is overet, okay, ubar. It is used to ignite another light moving forward. So I gave a lot of thought to that this week, and I thought that's what we need to do tonight. We need to think about tomorrow night, it will be dark, but I want us to think about the light that we're looking at tonight, and I want us to think about this light that's inside of us and how can we create some kind of mental image or transfer or mode. How can we do something to take this, I love Ner Tamid or sources, this kind of light that we can just like literally prepare to transfer it onto the week that is to come, and bring this light and prepare with it. All right. So I just want to let people think about that for a second. What is some way we can just imprint this light and the lights of Hanukkah on us, so to attach it to the next mitzvah of lighting lights. Okay, Havdalah is good. How do we bring this light into the week to come? How can we do that? And there's no right answer. There's lots of answers. Anybody would just be brave? Give it a try. Share my light with the word hugs. Good. All right, who said Shabbat candle? Sherry. I want to pick on you, Sherry, but I can't see you, but I would love for Sherry to say, can you want to say a little more about how Shabbat candles? Because that I think is a very specific example of mitzvah she'overet.
Never been on this before.
There you go.
I'm happy to be here. I find that lighting the Shabbat candles that I started doing in 2019 consistently really puts me in a different headspace, sort of closes the week with this feeling of letting go. So I light the candles and then I watch services, and it's a whole decompression. And it sort of feels transcendent in a way.
So I love that you said decompress and transcend. I just want to say that again for everybody. Decompress and transcend. So in a Hanukkah way, we start with a little bit of light and we go to full light. Okay. We don't start with a lot of light and diminish. We start with a little bit of light and transcend, expand the light. Big thing, little thing. Thank you for the thumbs up, Deborah. I love all the little stuff that's going on here on the screen. So I just want to think about this light right now. This light right now. I want just to think about that it's you, that it's a gift, and that you can hold it in some way, in some form, either in your, like when I light candles on Shabbat, or when I do something for a person, or anything I might do this week, if I can just hold on to this image of the lights, recognize that it's inside of me, recognize that it's a gift, and just be really conscious of passing it along and transferring it to the Shabbat candles or to the Havdalah candles or on into the week. And then Hanukkah goes with us all year long, because one Shabbat leads to another Shabbat and Havdalah, and one Shabbat leads to another. And one holiday begins to prepare us, whether we realize it or not. Hanukkah time is when we're reading the story of Joseph. So our eyes begin to turn to Egypt. So our calendar is constantly doing things to make us be aware, passing along and connected to the next things that are coming up in some way. So we never lose the holiness of our calendar and of our observances and these incredible gifts. So we've got a beautiful song that Ariel's going to introduce, but I just want to remind our 3 ideas. Light is a gift of creation. Light is within us. And the light transfers. We take the light with us when we go. The light is not going to be extinguished. It's just going to be contained within us until we ignite it so much, okay? Until we, as Sherry said, decompress and transcend with the light. That force for doing that, or big thing, little thing, whatever it is that we can consciously do, that we're taking that with us into the week. So don't be sad tomorrow night when you don't light the candles, because the fire's inside of you, and all of the hope and all of the community and all the experiences and these beautiful meetups on SVIVAH are all going to be part of us, and will carry us through the week. Susan, let my inner light shine through my interactions with people, whether I know them or not. That's beautiful, Susan. Thank you. Hayamim Chofim, Shana Over. Francine, Hayamim Chofim, Shana Over. You can hear the word over in the song. So last thing, all of you are overwrote. You're all transformers and transcenders and people who move from one to another. That's what it means to be one of Abraham's grandchildren. So Chag Sameach, everybody. And Ariel's going to introduce the song. I wish everyone a wonderful moment of transformation from Hanukkah into the rest of the week. Yeah.
Jane, thank you so much. This is the Torah I needed so desperately to hear, so that Hanukkah, this Zot Chanukah, this light-filled night is not the end. We're not going back into the dark. That light is everywhere. And the reminder that we have light everywhere in our week, in our rituals, in everything it's so much around us that, okay, we had these 8 nights of an infusion of light in our face to really think about it. And to really, I'm so glad that you asked us to slow down to sing Mausur and really give us a chance to focus on light and ask ourselves these questions and focus on these 3 different ways of thinking about light. But even if we're not lighting these candles tomorrow night, the light is still here. And I loved reading in the chat of where people find light in so many different ways, and that we have these amazing reminders that light is a reminder of God's presence and the way that God creates lights in the world, and that we are light, and that we have holy light inside of us, and that we share light and that we spread it. I thank you for teaching us how to hold on to the light. This is exactly what I needed, and I'm so grateful to you. This song that we're gonna listen to is a video that's celebrating some amazing women who shared their light in the wake of October 7th in Israel. But we love the idea of it so much. When Dahlia and Jane and I were talking, this was just such a beautiful idea that you'll hear the words Eish Chama, a warm fire, because light is not just something you see. Light, especially candlelight, is something that you feel. And Rita sings all about giving your light to another woman. And that is exactly what we do here at SVIVAH. It's what we do all year. Let's feel this light and just remember that we're going to share it with each other, that's our whole idea of being in community with each other. If we have extra light, we offer it. If we need more light, we ask for it. And together we are just so dang bright, and we bring so much light into the world. And like, not only should this be an individual reminder to us when we see light, but it should be our instruction manual for how we are with each other and in communities where we walk through the world. This Ish Chama, we are light, we are Ner Tamid, we are Vayehi Or, and we are this Ish Chama that we can pass and share to each other, which I love so much. So Jordan, if you can start playing the song, that would be awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna send, I promise I will send that link out to everybody so that you can all have it and listen to it on loop. It's one of the best songs ever, but I'm looking at the clock and I want to make sure that everybody can enjoy the rest of their Hanukkah. But I want to say thank you with my whole heart. Jane, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jordan, thank you, Dahlia and Abstentia. I'm hoping, I know she's going to watch this when we're done. And thank you to each one of you. I am sending you a shechama from my beautiful warm candles over here, and I am feeling yours. It has been such a gift and so special to be able to share Hanukkah together. This brings me so much joy. Always, please stay connected with us in our SVIVAH Facebook group to keep showing up for each other, and all the amazing photos that you sent of your candles, please throw them in there and bring more light. And when you think about how you're sharing light or when you receive light, please just share it. It just fills each, I know it fills me up, so I'm making assumptions that it does some good for some other people too. And so please just share all of it there. Dahlia has her amazing WhatsApp group that she's been holding and sharing little bits and pieces of her Torah and her song and her poetry. So you can definitely join that. We have our SVIVAH regular announcements group so that you can stay in touch with us and we can bother you about the different ways to come together throughout the year. And I am going to just make a very humble request and an enormous thanks to all of you who have been so generous in supporting SVIVAH throughout this year and have continued to help us continue to build this beautiful community and gather all of us together. And if you can think about SVIVAH as you make your Hanukkah gifts and your year-end gifts, we would be so, so grateful. We want to be able to keep doing all of this together. svivah.org/donate. And we're going to send a reminder. I'm going to do my best to remember to send a reminder before Shabbat this week, when Shabbat candles are being lit worldwide, to just notice the light. And so that at the end of this week, you can take a minute, we can all take a minute to either realize where we were light, where we felt light, where we received light, and we can just keep reminding each other and be each other's light. So thank you for showing your beautiful light and your face to us tonight, and keep being here. It just feels, it's like so selfish. Chag Sameach, Chag Urim Sameach. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'd love to say hi to anybody. And thank you for spending Hanukkah with us.